Welcome to Health 2660. Here we don't just talk about health, we tell the stories that heal. Now please listen to the story. The sunrise used to find William in old brown shoes, tending to a garden, riotous with wildflowers. Now at 68 those mornings were silent wars waged against his own body. He'd lever himself out of bed, and the first sensation wasn't the sun on his face, but a relentless dull ache throbbing in his feet. Not the kind of pain that made you gasp, but a deep, persistent throb that turned every step into a monumental effort. Swollen toes, heels crisscrossed with cracks like a dried riverbed, and a tautness stretching across the arches like a bowstring drawn too tight. It felt like I was hauling my age with me every single step. He'd sigh, the memory etched in his voice. Painkillers offered a fleeting truce, a brief respite before the enemy returned stronger and more insistent. He'd thrown everything he could think of at the problem, expensive orthopedic insoles that felt like rocks in his shoes, medicated creams, promising miracles that never materialized, even anti-inflammatory pills that gnawed at his stomach. But the leaden weight in his feet refused to lift. The worst of it, sleep. The incessant discomfort would claw at him in the dead of night, dragging him from the peaceful oblivion he craved. He'd sit, hunched in the darkness, legs propped up on pillows, staring at the ceiling, a silent silhouette of frustration and despair. He felt adrift, lost in a sea of discomfort, unsure what else to do but grit his teeth and endure. I stopped gardening. He confessed, his voice barely a whisper. Couldn't bend down without a jolt of pain shooting up my leg. Couldn't stand for more than a few minutes without feeling like my feet were going to crumble beneath me. Everything I used to love slipped out of reach, like sand through my fingers. The vibrant colors of his garden, the satisfying weight of the earth in his hands, the simple joy of nurturing life, all fading into a distant, painful memory. Then came the weekend visit to his old friend Martha, nestled in a quaint countryside village, where red-tiled roofs punctuated a landscape of emerald rice paddies and fragrant lemongrass fields. They sat on Martha's porch, sipping sweet tea and reminiscing about their youthful escapades, the years falling away with each shared laugh. Casually, almost as an afterthought, William mentioned the agonizing pain in his feet. A gentle, wrinkled woman from the village, watering her potted herbs nearby, overheard his complaint. She turned towards him, her eyes twinkling with an ancient wisdom. "You should try soaking your feet with lemongrass." She offered her voice as soothing as the gentle breeze rustling through the bamboo trees. Warm water, a few stalks of lemongrass, and a little time. That's all it takes. William glanced down at his feet. The sight was not inspiring. Swollen, reddened, and visibly tense, they looked like weary travelers who had walked 1,000 miles. He'd certainly heard stranger advice in his long life, and honestly, he was at the point where he was desperate enough to try anything. Hope, however, faint flickered within him. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, he ventured into Martha's small garden and picked a generous handful of fresh lemongrass. The scent was intoxicating, a vibrant citrusy aroma that filled the air with a sense of freshness and vitality. He boiled the lemongrass in a small battered pot, the fragrant steam filling the kitchen with its invigorating essence. He carefully poured the hot water into a small basin, letting it cool until it reached the perfect temperature, warm enough to soothe but not scalding. Then, with a deep breath and a silent prayer, he slowly lowered his aching feet into the lemony-scented water. At first, there was just the heat, a pleasant warmth that gradually permeated his skin. Then a subtle shift occurred, a gentle release of tension that spread from his toes to his ankles like a calming wave washing over his weary feet. It felt like my feet were being held by nature, he described later, the awe still evident in his voice. He sat there for 20 minutes, doing nothing but breathing in the fragrant steam, feeling the soothing warmth and consciously letting go of the accumulated tension in his body. He didn't think about his pain, his limitations, or the frustrations that had plagued him for so long. He simply existed in that moment, allowing the simple ritual to work its magic. That night, for the first time in weeks, William slept through the night. No jarring awakenings, no throbbing pain, no restless tossing and turning, just deep restorative sleep, and a quiet sense of gratitude that welled up within him. He made a pact with himself to continue the lemongrass foot soaks, and night after night, he religiously followed his newfound ritual. Slowly, subtly, the swelling began to subside. The relentless ache gradually faded into a dull throb, then into a distant memory. The tense muscles in his feet relaxed, allowing him to move with greater ease and comfort. He began experimenting, adding little extras to his foot bath to enhance its healing properties. A handful of coarse sea salt, known for its anti-inflammatory benefits. A sprig or two of fresh mint leaves their cool, refreshing scent invigorating his senses. Sometimes a single drop of eucalyptus oil, its pungent aroma clearing his sinuses and promoting relaxation. But the star of the show, the constant in his nightly ritual, remained the humble lemongrass. It became more than just a treatment, he explained. It was a ritual, a daily reset, a way to wash away the stress and strain of the day and reconnect with myself. After 2 weeks of consistent foot soaks, William felt a surge of confidence. He ventured back into his garden, picking up his old shovel with a sense of anticipation. He planted his old favorite plump, juicy tomatoes, their vibrant red, a beacon of hope in his revitalized life. He dug in the rich soil, feeling the cool earth between his fingers. He stood for longer stretches of time without needing to rest his feet, feeling strong and resilient beneath him. He felt alive again, reconnected to the passions that had once defined him. Now, every evening ends the same way, with the soft golden light of a bedside lamp illuminating his face, the gentle warmth of the water enveloping his feet, and the invigorating scent of lemongrass rising gently from the basin. It's a sanctuary, a sacred space, where he finds solace, healing, and a profound sense of peace. William, once a prisoner in his own body, now moved with newfound freedom, his spirit soaring with renewed vitality. He couldn't keep his discovery to himself. He began telling others, his neighbors, his friends, even at a senior wellness group at his local church. He shared his story with unwavering enthusiasm, his eyes shining with the light of hope and conviction. People think pain is just a natural part of getting old. He'd say, his voice filled with empathy and understanding. But I've learned that healing doesn't always come in a bottle or from a doctor's prescription. Sometimes it comes from something as simple as a leaf, a little warm water, and a willingness to listen to your body. He even started a small blog to share his journey with a wider audience, hoping to inspire others to take control of their health and well-being. He posted pictures of his bare feet happily ensconced in the garden, steam rising from the rustic wooden tub he now used exclusively for his foot soaks, and simple, heartfelt notes like, "Never underestimate the power of something simple. Sometimes the most profound healing comes from the most unexpected sources. He readily shared his simple foot bath recipe, urging others to try it for themselves. William's foot bath recipe: 3 to 5 fresh stalks of lemongrass, or dried if needed. 1 liter of boiling water. Pour into a basin. Let cool to about 40 to 45 degrees Celsius, or 104 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Comfortably warm. Soak feet for 15 to 20 minutes, preferably before bed. No need to scrub vigorously. Just breathe deeply. Relax your muscles and allow the warmth and the aroma to soothe your body and mind. He emphasized the importance of self-care, reminding everyone that taking care of your physical body was inextricably linked to nurturing your emotional and spiritual well-being. Caring for your feet, he often wrote, is also caring for your soul. William became an unlikely advocate for holistic healing, a living testament to the transformative power of simple natural remedies. His garden flourished once more, a vibrant tapestry of colors and scents, a reflection of the renewed vitality that bloomed within him. He walked with a spring in his step, his eyes sparkling with joy, his heart filled with gratitude. He had rediscovered the simple pleasures of life, and he was determined to share his secret with the world. He even started experimenting with other natural remedies, brewing herbal teas, and crafting homemade salves his kitchen, transforming into a fragrant apothecary. His blog gained a devoted following, attracting people from all walks of life who were seeking alternative approaches to health and wellness. They shared their own stories of healing and transformation, creating a supportive online community where people felt empowered to take control of their own well-being. William was overwhelmed by the positive response, realizing that his simple act of sharing his personal journey had touched the lives of countless others. He began to receive invitations to speak at wellness retreats and conferences, sharing his story with larger audiences. He spoke with passion and authenticity, his words resonating deeply with those who were tired of relying solely on conventional medicine and were seeking more natural and holistic approaches to healing. He emphasized the importance of listening to your body, trusting your intuition, and embracing the power of self-care. One day, a young woman approached him after one of his talks. She had been suffering from chronic foot pain for years and had tried every treatment imaginable with little success. She had come to the conference as a last resort, hoping to find some glimmer of hope. She listened intently as William recounted his story, her eyes filled with tears of hope and relief. She felt a deep connection to him, recognizing the same despair and frustration that she had been experiencing for so long. After his talk, she approached him hesitantly, her voice barely a whisper. "Mr. William," she said, I don't know what to say. Your story has given me so much hope. I've been suffering from foot pain for so long, and I've tried everything. I'm willing to try anything at this point." William smiled warmly and took her hand. "I understand," he said. "I've been there. Just start with the lemongrass foot soaks. Be patient, be consistent, and most importantly, believe in your body's ability to heal. And don't hesitate to reach out if you need any support." The young woman followed his advice, and within a few weeks, she began to experience a significant reduction in her pain. She was overjoyed, feeling like she had finally found a solution that worked for her. She reached out to William to express her gratitude, telling him that he had given her back her life. William realized that his journey had come full circle. He had gone from being a man trapped by pain and despair to a beacon of hope for others. He had found his purpose in life, and he was determined to continue sharing his message of healing and self-empowerment with the world. He often signed off his blog posts with a simple yet profound message: believe in the power of nature, believe in the power of your body, and above all, believe in yourself. He knew his old brown shoes might be a little more worn, but now they carried him on a path of purpose. And it all started with a simple suggestion: a fragrant herb and a willingness to try something new. But what if the pain wasn't just physical? What if the ache in William's feet was intertwined with a deeper ache, a lingering sadness that he hadn't fully acknowledged? The lemongrass helped soothe the physical discomfort, but could it truly reach the root of his suffering? And what about the others he'd inspired? Were they finding true, lasting relief? Or were they simply masking deeper issues with a fragrant, albeit effective remedy? He'd shown them the path, but he couldn't walk it for them. He'd given them a leaf, but could they cultivate their own gardens of healing? Health 2660 thanks you for listening. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, be kind to yourself.